Ever wished you could showcase your WooCommerce products without worrying about pricing or checkout? Imagine having complete control over how your products are presented, without the hassle of pricing or purchasing options. With Catalog Mode for WooCommerce, you can transform your online store into a sleek, professional catalog tailored to your needs. So in today's video, I'm going to cover the overview of Catalog Mode for WooCommerce by Rex team. So let's get started. To use the Catalog Mode for WooCommerce, you need to have it installed and activated on your WordPress dashboard. And you need to also have WooCommerce installed and activated as well. So first, let me show you how my store is looking like right now. So let me go to my store. So this is how my store is right now, and it has a few products you can see. So you can view the products or add them to cart whenever you want. Now let's go back and let me show you how the catalog mode is working. Now first, you can see that you have some options here. I'm going to go over them one by one. So the first option is enable catalog mode for all users or guest users. So basically, if you select all users, then every logged in user and the guest users, everyone will be able to see the catalog mode option. Then we have the catalog mode for administrator. So any of the admin level users will be able to see the product showcase if it's enabled. Then we have the hide the review tab for guest users. So if you don't want your guest users to see the reviews of your products, you can enable this option. Then we have the disable shop option. So if you enable this, the catalog mode will be activated and you can show your users the product showcase. Now, if I enable this disable shop option, then all products will be gone into the catalog mode and your users won't be able to add them to their cart. So if I scroll down and save the settings, and if I show you my store once again, you'll see that the add to cart options has gone. You see? So let's go back. And you can see that the next option we have is the hide product variations. So if the add to cart is hidden, you can enable this option to hide the product variations that you have in your store. And then we have the option in product pages, replace add to cart with a custom button. So for that, you have to go to the buttons and labels. So I'm going to show that a bit later. So I'm going to skip these two options for now. And for the last two options, so if you want to show a price for every product that you have, you can do that, or you can hide price for every product. So if I enable this option and if I visit my store once again, you can see that this time the prices have been hidden as well. So let's go back. And you can see there's another option mentioned here that if you hide the price, then the add to cart button will be hidden too. So since I have hidden the add to cart button already, so this is by default kept on. And for the last option, we have where hidden, replace price with a label. So for this, you also have the buttons and labels option. So I'm gonna discuss this right now. Now let me show you the buttons and labels option. So if I click on the buttons, you can see that you have option to create a new button or a label. So let's click on this and you can see that you have got another window popped up and you can give the button a name. So let's say you have the option to give your button the name Ask Info. So once you do that, you can give a label text. So let's say, so you can see the button is currently looking like this. So you can change the style of your buttons as well. So if you click on style, you can see that you can change the default background. So let's say you want to change the color to, let's say, black. Now you can do that. You can change the border color, you can change the hover color. So let's say you want to give it a bright blue. So once you do that, you can see that the hover color has changed. You can also change the border thickness. So let's say 3. Then you can change the radius, the margin, the padding, everything. And you have the option to link your button to something else. So let's say you want to link it to a product page or a custom URL, you can do that. So I'm going to keep it as it is. So I'm going to click on save. So my button has already been saved. Now, if I go to the settings here and I change the price with ask info, and I also want to change the product pages with ask info. So if I click on save settings and I visit my store once again, you can see that the buttons have been added here. So let's say I want to click on this. You can see that the button has been added in the product page as well. So if I go back, you can see that in this page, the button is mentioned twice. This is because I have added it twice. So if I change it to nothing here and save settings and then refresh this, you can see that the product page has only one button here. So if I click on this, it takes me to this page because in the button I have linked the button to the product page. So that's how the buttons and labels work. Now for the custom URL, what you can do is, now if you click on the edit option here and you change this to a custom URL, then what you can do is add the inquiry form in a custom URL and then add the URL here. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is keep it on the product page, and that's about it. Now let's talk about the exclusion list. So you can exclude specific products from your catalog mode option using this option. So let's go to the exclusion list, and if you click on add exclusion here, you can see that you can choose specific products, categories or tags in the exclusion list very easily. So let's say I want to add this blue plain t-shirt to my exclusion list. So what I'm going to do is disable the inquiry form in this specific product. So what I can do is enable these options, use custom options for add to cart. I can enable these options and then add this specific product to the exclusion list. So if I go to the store now, you can see that my blue plain t-shirt does not have the ask info button. So if I click on this and scroll down, you can see that it also doesn't have the option to send a message to my admin. So here the inquiry form is disabled. So that's how the exclusion list works. You can add as many products as you want in your exclusion list. And finally, we have the option of the inquiry form. So if I go to this option, inquiry form, you can see that there are some specific settings. So the first setting is you can set the inquiry form visible for all products or only to the ones that are in the exclusion list. So let's say you don't have the catalog mode enabled for your store for all products, and you have a few products in your exclusion list. So what you can do is set the inquiry form visible only in the products in that list. So this works as vice versa. All right. So for now, I have it visible for all products that I have in my store. Then I have the option to show a form. So we already have integrations with Contact Form 7, Gravity Forms, Fluent Forms. Or what you can do is add the default form that we have with the catalog mode, and you can use that. Then we have some form options. So you can show the form in the WooCommerce tabs or in the short description area under your product. So currently I have the WooCommerce tab option enabled, and the tab title is send an inquiry. So I'm going to show it to you in a bit while. Then I can select a specific text before form. So I have this text by default added in the catalog mode. So what's said here is if they want to know more about that product, they can send an inquiry and the admin will get in touch with them as soon as possible. You can change or update this text however you want. You also have some styling options here. You can use these as well. Then you can add the product permalink in the email body. So basically, once your user is sending a message to the admin, product permalink is also sent in the email so that the admin can understand from which product you actually sent the message from. Then you have some default form fields here, so you can add first name, last name, email, messages of your users. You can also have this option, acceptance, in your form as well. So I'm not going to use it and I'm just going to save settings and I'm going to show you how the form works. So let's go to my store once again. Now let's say I want to ask the prices of these gloves. So if I click here, you can see that the send an inquiry option is here. And this is the text that I showed you a bit before, and you can edit it however you want. So let's say I want to send an inquiry here. So this is my inquiry and I want to submit it. So once I do that, you can see that the email has successfully been submitted. Now let's check my email. So you can see this is the email. If I click on this, you can see that John Doe has sent me a message that is, please send me a quote for this product. And this is the permalink. So if I click on this, you can see that it takes me to that specific product. So that's how basically the catalog mode inquiry form works. So that's all about it today. This is how the catalog mode for WooCommerce work. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box. Take care until my next video drops.